Welcome back to your weekly Calvin Update. I'm your host, Mackenzie Voss, coming to you after a very busy weekend for Calvin Knights Athletics. This past weekend, we had the men's lacrosse team lose to Center on Saturday afternoon, 20-5. The men's and women's diving and swimming teams completed their MIAA championships, and the women's team won their 12th title, and the men's won their 3rd title. The men's and women's basketball teams both faced the rival Hope College on Saturday afternoon. The men's team fell 65-61, and the women's team came out with a win, 88-77. The men's and women's track and field teams faced their MIAA championships this weekend, and we are here with Coach Bret Otte to talk a little bit about that. How are you, Coach? How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Good. How do you feel about going into the meet this weekend?
I feel confident, but also know that the folks in our league, the other teams in our league are coming for us at Calvin. We haven't lost a league meet in quite some time, and they have good teams.
What's it like having the first indoor MIAA championships?
That's kind of cool to be part of history.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to watching that all happen and being able to point to that and say I was there for the first one.
Good. What kind of events are going to be your biggest performances this weekend?
We should do quite well in things like the 5K and the 3K.
Mm-hmm.
Those won't be the big upsets or the big events for us. Things like shot put, weight throw, the 60, the 200, those will be big events for us. If we can do well in those events, those will be pivotal moments for our teams.
Those are the ones that your players have shined in the past in?
Well, in track and field, it's kind of an interesting dynamic. You have events that you are strong in,
Mm-hmm.
that you expect to do well in.
Yep.
It's the other events. It's the role-playing events where you are going to make a swing from doing well to possibly winning.
Mm-hmm.
So things like shot and weight, we have strong performers in there, but how well they perform could swing the tide for us being first, second, or third.
Are there certain schools that you're more nervous about than others?
Well, there's always individuals from every team that can do very well, and who can take points away from the folks on your teams. I think for Calvin, what we're looking for is some strong performances from schools like Hope and Trine.
Right. And you guys are competing at Trine, right?
Yes, correct.
Are your players familiar with that venue, or are you a little bit nervous about that?
No, I think they're familiar with it.
Yeah.
They're familiar with Trine. They've been there a couple times.
Okay.
Their facility resembles ours.
Good.
It's the same company actually that put the surface down.
Mm-hmm.
So it should feel the same. It should run the same for them.
Nice.
I think that they've been there enough that they will feel pretty comfortable.
Good. What are you going to have the team work on headed into the weekend?
I think, unlike in basketball and maybe even soccer, where you kind of have some fine-tuning adjustments of strategies, our hay is in the barn. Mm-hmm. As of last week, it's pretty much done. What we have to do is we have to get people in the right events, make sure that our schedule is good in terms of arriving on time. The students have got to figure on, all right, I can't procrastinate my work this week. I'm going to have to get on my homework and so I can get to bed on time.
Yeah.
And getting into a good human cycle of eating on time and
Mm-hmm.
eating good foods.
Right.
Those little details make a big difference in track and field.
Definitely. What time do the events start on Saturday?
They start at 9:30 on Saturday morning with the field events, and then at noon the track and field events start, or the track events start.
Got it. As a coach, what do you think you have to focus on the most in keeping the energy high and keeping the confidence boosted?
I have to stay calm.
Yeah.
I think coaches, and maybe especially in sports that are closed sports, there's not a offense and a defense that's operating in close proximity. But I also think blanket statement, a coach should kind of project confidence. And sometimes if a coach gets really emotional, the student athletes can think, well, something's not right. So for me, it's remaining calm and letting them know that I have confidence that they're going to do well, and that I will still love them up. Whether we are first, second, third, seventh, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be the same person to me.
Yeah, and they've already come so far.
Yep, yep.
Awesome. Well, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure.
That's all for today, and we'll see you here next week. Go Knights!